Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to our new YouTube channel, Alchemy Astrology. Wonderful to have you here. So today, Angie will lay a bit of groundwork to prepare us all to understand the magic and incredible value of astrology as a powerful tool for self-awareness.
Well said. Beautiful. Okay, so I thought what would be important is if I show you an actual chart. This is going to be a transit chart of today. And just as a little orientation for us to get a sense of over the upcoming weeks and months, what exactly are we wanting to understand? So for most people, astrology is a simplistic idea of this, my sun sign, based on the month that we were born. And we think that's who we are. But the truth of the matter is we are all 12 of the zodiac signs. What happens is because the soul, in its desire to evolve and to grow, when it makes a decision that it wants to come to Harvard, which is for us in this Earth School, the most challenging of all journeys, because we come in to this world with this veil of forgetfulness that comes upon us, and we forget why we came, what the heck is going on. It's very chaotic and intense down here. And this chart is a blueprint. It's like your owner's manual. And so we sit in council with our higher wiser, our God self, this fifth dimensional aspect of ourself that loves us unconditionally and knows that we can't get it wrong and we will never get it done. And we assess, we look back over multiple lifetimes that we have spent coming into this earth plane. What gifts and abilities did we acquire and master? What are areas that are underdeveloped that could use a little bit more focus and attention? And so we will choose from this smorgasbord, these 12 zodiac signs.
Angie, sorry, can you click on it to enhance to the page?
Yes, thank you. Very good. That is important that you are. Um,
Thank you. Perfect.
Absolutely. So we will assess where we've been, and then we will make a determination. We have a say in this. We will get to choose where we'll be born, to what parents what family will we be born into, and it can be like walking in every cultural nuance. Just is completely this new opportunity to explore and have these amazing new experiences. So the chart, this whole wheel that we're looking at, and if we look at from the outer to the inner and inward, and then the center, we get to see this geometric pattern going on. There are 10 planets that we look at, 12 zodiac signs and 10 planets. We also use what's called the nodes of the moon, the south node and the north node. That gives us valuable information about where we've been and what will be a huge desire in this lifetime for us to fulfill a need. And it's almost like this insatiable, almost obsessive need that we might have in this lifetime of something that is yet to be crossed off of the bucket list. So sun sign astrology, the idea that your sun sign is in a sign, is way too simplistic. You are very complex. Everybody is a walking contradiction, and making sense of that and being able to see a little this, think of like a recipe, like we're making a pot of soup and there's all these ingredients that are added into this that make a unique expression. And so everybody's chart is extremely unique to them. And there is a hermetic saying that basically as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything is interconnected. And why astrology is such a powerful and valuable tool is it helps us understand the movement. Nothing is ever static. Everything is constantly in movement, constantly in flux. And so we go through changes. We know ourselves, we begin to acclimate and be comfortable in one particular expression, and then those planets begin to dance around us and create change. And then we find ourselves evolving, and we might struggle with that because we don't want to let go of what was, which was most familiar. No choice. We are constantly in this dance. So when you have a tool that you can look at and you can assess where, help us connect dots about the whys of the past, and then look at the present and see what's actually going on, it allows you to be conscious and mindful and working with the energy instead of resisting it. Any resistance will cause pain. So when we let go, then we move with the flow of it, and we allow it to morph us and to stretch us and to mold us into something which we always wanted to be, but we had no idea how to get there. So this is why we're laying this groundwork. And this is why the idea that let's begin with the days of the week. Let's start with the sun. And then Monday is the moon day. Tuesday is Mars day. Wednesday is Mercury's day. Thursday is Jupiter's day. Friday is Venus's day. And then Saturn is Saturday. And those are the planets that we can see in the night sky. The other planets, the outer planets, we need a telescope. They're too far away, but they do influence, but it's more on a transpersonal level. So that's why we break this down. This is a very complex language, and it's in layers and layers and layers. But in order to make sense of it, we have to begin small. And so when we learned a language, we first had to learn sounds. And then when we began to have to read it and write it, we had to learn the alphabet, string those letters together into sentences, and then words, sentences, paragraphs, stories. And that's what astrology is, a language, and we're learning that from the baseline up.
Thank you, Angie.
Do you have questions or thoughts about that? Can I go a tiny bit deeper into the idea of this chart and how to orient ourselves to this circle?
Absolutely. Yes. Why don't you? Because this is exciting and it's beautiful. So, yeah, please.
So the outer, if you look at, these are the planets. This little ascendant, you see letters AS, DS, NC, IC. Those four create the scaffolding. It's the infrastructure. They're called the angles of the chart that everything else is based upon. We begin to layer on top of this infrastructure, this foundation. The outer ones represent the planets, the nodes. The inner ones, these are the zodiac signs. And this is actually the chart of today, this moment in time, the city that I live in, and when we began. So this is where the planets are sitting. These numbers in the center, 1, 2, 3, all the way around to 12, they're called houses, but they actually represent areas of our life. And each one of them are very unique. Below the horizon here, this deeper dark black line that goes across, anything, the numbers 1 through 6 represent the inner world, that which other people don't necessarily get to see about us. And then up above that horizon is the outer world, how we engage with people. This is more the extroverted part of us, and this is more the introverted part of us. So all of it is holistic. I like to think of it like a big family dinner table, where at each chair, each of these little areas sits a very distinctive personality. They see the world through a unique lens. They think that their way is the best way and the only way, and everybody should be just like them and conform to them. And so it's really no different than having a family that you're in, or even just within yourself, the idea that there's all this wants, needs, push, pull, and it's sometimes hard to make a choice or decision because of all these archetypes and expressions that are beating the drum and screaming, me, me, me. So if you're trying to agree within a family which restaurant to go to, what to eat for dinner, and it's so confusing because nobody can agree on anything, this is what our inner world is like. And so when we're looking at this, we're trying to it's like take all the crazy out of our head and lay it out on a table for us to make sense of, and then put it all back together again. So that ideally you're like, oh my gosh, I'm perfect. I'm doing exactly what I was supposed to do and be. And noticing that we do go through changes along the way and we evolve. We're always being asked to evolve and grow. And with the experiences, gain wisdom and maturity.
Oh, so beautiful. Yes, well said. And thank you so much for this foundation and groundwork. Would you like to, is there anything else you would like to share with us today? Or
I think that for right now, that really is everything that seems to be dropping in, that I feel like it's important that we set just some awareness about how this might work, and then we'll begin slowly and simply.
I love this. I love this. So, on this note, I'm gonna say thank you, Angie, for
Absolutely.
being the wisdom of today, and thank you everyone for listening. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Have a wonderful day,
Have a wonderful day. Yes, wherever you are.
wherever you are.